Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, make sure you guys do yourself a damn favor and smash that bell notification down below so you can get all the videos here on True School Sports and you don't miss anything, because we don't want you to miss anything. But listen, let's talk about Fury Wilder from another vantage point here for a second. Now, let's rewind time for a second. The day is December the 4th, 2019. Anthony Joshua is preparing himself for a rematch with Andy Ruiz in Saudi Arabia. With a win at that particular time, Andy Ruiz and Deontay Wilder would have had all the belts at heavyweight, which means that Al Haymon would have been in full control of the heavyweight division. PBC would have been in full control of the heavyweight division. All right, that was December the 4th. Joshua won that fight. We know how that went. Fast forward to February 23rd, as I'm shooting this video. Ruiz lost against Joshua in convincing fashion, got outboxed pretty soundly. And then Tyson Fury turns in one of the greatest performances in any big heavyweight fight in the history of the sport. And he relieves Wilder of Sofia, the WBC title. And now Al Haymon has zero, I repeat, zero control of the heavyweight division. So that's a great life lesson right there, guys. That's a great life lesson that you can be on top one day, and then and the following day you're at the bottom. You don't have shit. That's how it goes. Al Haymon has nothing, so he's got to rebuild, from the ground up, because Wilder was his golden goose. He protected him and had him in witness protection as long as he possibly could have. But to no avail. To no avail. The cream always rises to the top. The best always prevail. And Wilder is no longer in that upper echelon of the heavyweights. He's not, a champion anymore. So now, I think this is the greatest thing to happen to the heavyweight division, that Wilder doesn't have a belt, because now it puts Wilder in a situation where he's gotta step up and fight the big names. Yeah, okay, they might need to rebuild him for a fight or two, maybe throw in there with a Charles Martin, maybe a Gerald Washington again, maybe a Kaunaki if he beats Robert Helenius, maybe Robert Helenius. Somebody to get him a win. Get him a win or two if he wants to forego the third Fury fight. But after that, after a fight or two, he's got to fight the Dillian Whites of the world. He's got to fight the Joseph Parkers and maybe the Hergovics or the Daniel Dubois and the guys that are coming up. No longer can Deontay Wilder look down at the heavyweight division and call these guys peasants, because Al Haymon fighters in the heavyweight division have no bargaining power. Zero. They have no bargaining power. And it's a great day for boxing. It's a great day for boxing. I'm not trying to hate on PBC. I'm just calling a spade a spade. I think we all know if Wilder and Ruiz would have been both prevailed in their fights, and they had full control of all the belts in the heavyweight division, we wouldn't get any big fights. We wouldn't see what we want to see as fans. I mean, look what's going on in the welterweight division with all these guys not wanting to fight Crawford. They don't want no smoke with Crawford. I mean, it got so bad that Errol Spence's on Instagram talking about, because he was sitting next to Terrence Crawford and a bunch of top-ranked people, and they don't even want to sit in the same section of the arena. So that being said, man, I'm just happy, man, because for years I've sat here on YouTube and I've listened to a lot of pro Wilder channels, pro PBC channels, not necessarily LDBC channels, but pro PBC channels. Talk about how great Al Haymon is for boxing, and how the other promoters are bad, and only Al Haymon is good. But look what's happened to the welterweight division. They won't fight the best fighter arguably in the entire world in Terrence Crawford. They're freezing him out. They don't want no smoke. They won't hike the skirts up. Okay, they're on a unified front to avoid Terrence Crawford. So could you imagine that shit at heavyweight? I mean, that's why, as boxing fans, right? I'm not speaking as a Fury fan. I'm not speaking as a Joshua fan. I'm speaking as a boxing fan right now. I'm speaking as an unbiased, objective boxing fan right now. That's why, as boxing fans right now, we gotta thank our lucky stars and be grateful that Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury did their jobs in their respective rematches. Because, who knows what would have happened if Wilder and Ruiz would have been victorious. All we'll be seeing is these guys fighting the cannon fodder opposition until, there's nobody else left to fight, or I don't know. They would have just hid in a corner and just fought nobodies. Fought Joe Blow. They might have fought me next, So yeah, I just wanted to highlight that and bring that up because I'm really happy that Al Heyman's not in control of boxing. I'm sick of Al Heyman, you know, fucking the fans, and that's the language I'm gonna use. He's been fucking the fans, raw with no Vaseline. Even this year, if you look at, exclude the Wilder Fury fight because that was a co-promotion. If you look at the majority of PBC cards this year, Caleb Plant's card against Vincent Feigeboots, nobody was clamoring to see that. Ugas versus Mike Dallas Jr. I mean, and the undercards were horrible too. So PBC, Al Heyman, they have a reputation for bad matchmaking, for protecting a lot of their fighters, for overpaying fighters for fights they shouldn't get paid, for overpaying fighters in certain fights that don't command that much money. And listen, I'm all for getting these fighters paid. I think the fighters should get paid as much as they want, but sometimes with him, he's doing it so often that it's created a sense of entitlement, which has really negatively impacted the sport. So the fact that he has zero control over the heavyweight division is probably the greatest thing to happen to the heavyweight division since the 1990s, when we had all the great heavyweight fights. Because even back in those days, even the second, third tier guys were fighting the top guys, and they're making for some great fights. Like you had the likes of Ika Ibushi fighting David Tua in absolute barn burners, and those are two guys that didn't even win a world title, and they gave you one of the best fights in the 1990s. So I think now with the landscape, we're in a position as boxing to finally have more of the best fighting the best, and more of the notable names fighting each other. Like I want to see Dillian White fight Wilder still. I want to see Joshua fight Wilder still. If that ever comes to fruition, I want to see Wilder fight whoever. I want to see Wilder versus anybody, because with that belt, because he had so much bargaining power with that belt, he wasn't gonna fight certain opponents. But now, nothing's off limits. Nothing is off limits, and the possibilities are endless. So Al Heyman, thank you, Al. You're out the picture. Not out the picture, but you're out the. You don't have the keys to the kingdom in the heavyweight division anymore, and that is a great thing for boxing fans like myself and the world over. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about what I had to say about Al Heyman, having no power in the heavyweight division. Give me your take on Al Heyman's place and PBC's place in the heavyweight division now that Wilder doesn't have a belt and none of their heavyweights have a belt. Leave your comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.